Welcome to Allies for Inclusion, the Ability exhibit. I'm Karen Myers, a professor at St. Louis University, and I have the distinct pleasure of being the director of the Ability exhibit. We're so glad you could join us today and experience the 10 stations of the Ability exhibit in your own setting. We hope you will gain from this experience an awareness of disability issues and tips for becoming an ally for inclusion.
Welcome to Allies for Inclusion, the Ability exhibit, Workshop Edition. This video will allow you to take a visual tour of the actual exhibit followed by interactive activities at the end. The purpose of the Ability exhibit is to promote the inclusion of people with disabilities through respect for others, comfort during interactions, and awareness of disability issues.
So one of my students, Anne Marie Carroll, developed an exhibit, and instead of a traditional training for a particular organization or group of people, and she developed an exhibit where people would attend the event and see different stations about disability. And so as soon as I saw it, I said, well, we need to make this happen. And so it was a little over a year ago that she had a PowerPoint, and now today we have this wonderful traveling exhibit that we're going across the country showing disability awareness.
It started as my class project in a PowerPoint, if you can believe that, and the courses for our master's degree in student and administration personnel, and it was just an idea to do an exhibit, and Dr. Myers said, well, guess what, it's going to happen. So here we are today, and it's traveling, and I couldn't be happier.
The exhibit is sponsored by the St. Louis University College of Education and Public Service and the Division of Student Development with generous donations from the Department of Education, Division of Information Technology Services, Housing and Residence Life, Logan College of Chiropractic, Ryan Dick, graphic designer, and friend of the exhibit, Mary Brummer. A complete list of contributors is available on your Workshop Edition flash drive. Elements of the exhibit include banners displaying disability historical facts and statistics, posters depicting the disability movement, celebrities with disabilities, person-first language, interactive activities such as Ability IQ computer quizzes, the Communication Space Rope, and I Know Someone with a Disability exercise, videos and slides about people with disabilities, disability law, and universal instructional design, and tips for becoming an ally for inclusion. It has been 20 years since the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, of 1990, and almost 40 years since the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. Both of these laws protect against discrimination of people with disabilities by requiring equal access to employment, education, goods, and services. Americans have progressed in their attitudes and behaviors toward people with disabilities. However, there remain questions and concerns about appropriate communication, comfort level, and inclusive practices. When it comes to interacting with individuals with disabilities, people ask, what should I do? How should I respond? And is it okay to say that? How can I become an ally? Allies for Inclusion, the Ability exhibit, attempts to answer some of these questions. To give you an idea of the setting, the Ability exhibit is divided into approximately 10 stations. 12 7-foot banners and over 30 foam board posters are positioned throughout the exhibit, along with several videos, PowerPoint presentations, and interactive activities. Black and white placards with braille and raised lettering identify each station. For text-to-speech and magnification of PowerPoint slides and banners, an accessible laptop is available for participants. So, let's experience the exhibit together. In the Celebrities with Disabilities station, posters bring attention to popular celebrities who have lived or are living with a disability. These recognizable faces have changed how society views people with disabilities. They have made an impact at a national or global level, and you too can make an impact each day you are inclusive of others. The celebrities with disabilities include Michael J. Fox, a well-known actor who has Parkinson's disease, Whoopi Goldberg, an actor, comedian, and TV show host with dyslexia. Princess Diana of Wales, a passionate advocate with bulimia who impacted millions. Marlee Matlin, an actor who is deaf. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States who used a wheelchair. And Stevie Wonder, a child prodigy and musician who is blind. Throughout the exhibit, there are 12 7-foot banners with the exhibit's logo at the top. The logo is an illustration of wrapping arms with the words respect, comfort, awareness in an arch above the arms. Near the illustration are the words Allies for Inclusion, the Ability Exhibit. The banner's contents are on your Workshop Edition flash drive. The banners include sponsorship, definition of disability, people with disabilities, who are they, types of disabilities in the U.S., who is employed, impact on college campuses, learning disability in the U.S., psychological disabilities in the U.S., ADHD in the U.S., disability movement 1921 through 1973, disability movement 1975 through 1988, and Americans with Disabilities Act. We are welcomed by an exhibit representative who distributes Ability Exhibit program brochures and instructions, as you will be welcomed by your Workshop Edition facilitator. Audio tours of the actual exhibit are available on MP3 players, and participants may follow the exhibit on Twitter. Slides projected on a nearby wall contain quotes by and regarding people with disabilities and are available on your Workshop Edition flash drive. The Person First language station includes 9 posters using Person First language, putting the person before the disability, and eliminating outdated, prejudicial, and hurtful descriptors. According to Amy Mullins, athlete, model, and educator who is an amputee, language affects our thinking and how we view the world and how we view other people. It is not about the words. It is about the values about the people behind those words and how we construct those values. Person First language is not political correctness. Instead, it demonstrates respect, inclusion, and assigning value. This portion of the Ability Exhibit is interactive and shows different images of people with disabilities and the incorrect phrase one might use to describe that person's disability. After reading each incorrect caption, participants are encouraged to remove the poster to view the appropriate Person First language. Captions include the following: I am not handicapped. I am a person with a disability. I am not deaf and dumb. I am a person who is deaf and cannot speak. I am not confined to a wheelchair. I am a person who uses a wheelchair. I am not a person with special needs. I am a person with a diagnosed learning disability. I am not crippled. I am a person who uses a prosthesis. I am not mentally retarded. I am a person with a developmental disability. We are not normal. We are people without disabilities. Words matter. Person First language promotes the person first, then the disability. We challenge you. Think person first before you speak. A Person First language activity is included in the Workshop Edition packet.
I'm more aware of disabilities in the language that we use, and so there was one portion that says how you should put the person first when you're referring to them or talking to them. So it's not a disabled person, it's a person who uses a wheelchair.
I know someone with a disability station. Do you know someone with a disability? Consider the legal definition of disability: a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits a major life activity. Do you know someone who experiences such limitation on a daily basis? Maybe a relative, friend, colleague, or neighbor. Maybe you. This activity asks us to think about the definition of disability and indicate if we know someone who has a visual, hearing, mobility, learning, psychological, and/or health-related disability. You too may indicate if you know someone with a disability through a workshop edition activity.
There really more people have more things in common when it comes to understanding and knowing people are having disabilities than people realize, and so there's actually a big common bond that goes along with it that people don't realize, that we all know someone close to us or have a disability ourselves.
Now it's time to test your knowledge. 3 computer quizzes allow you to test your own knowledge of disability issues. They are the Disability Fact Computer Quiz, Disability Law Computer Quiz, and Disability Celebrity Computer Quiz. These quizzes are on your Workshop Edition flash drive. Each question is followed by the answer on the next slide. So, how did you do? Amy Mullins' 12 Pairs of Legs video is projected on a nearby wall. Amy shows her many pairs of prosthetic legs and describes her journey as an athlete, model, and ability educator. This video is available on the Allies for Inclusion, the Ability Exhibit Google site. The communication space rope was adapted from the space distance rope, developed by registered nurse Karen L. McCullough in 1994 for children with visual disabilities and their families. The purpose of the rope is to demonstrate types of distance in communication and the appropriate distance used in personal interaction. Types of distance include intimate, 0 to 18 inches, the space used with family, close friends, or when you're whispering. Personal, 18 to 48 inches, space in which most people communicate. Social consultative, 4 to 12 feet, formal space for job interviews, teacher conferences, or meetings. And public, 12 feet or more, space between people in public places where little interpersonal communication occurs. The space rope is a user-friendly tool to assist all of us in understanding and appreciating socially accepted distance when interacting with others face-to-face. Although originally developed for people who are blind and have low vision, the communication space rope may be useful to people from different cultures, people of various ages, and people with other disabilities. Instructions for making and using the space rope and a description of the communication distances are available on your Workshop Edition flash drive. A communication space rope and user instructions are provided in your Workshop Edition packet so that you may experience the space rope yourself. Universal Instructional Design Station. Have you excluded anyone today? On this table are 3 posters indicating Universal Design, Universal Instructional Design, and Universal Design for Student Development. The primary goal of Universal Design is to create inclusive and flexible products, courses, programs, activities, and environments. What does Universal Design look like is placed on an easel. The interactive quiz allows participants to move the small magnetic posters from one side to the other on the large poster to reveal the answers. Booklets in large print and in Braille provide examples of UD, UID, and UDSD. The contents of the booklet and an activity are available on your Workshop Edition flash drive. A Universal Instructional Design video is projected on a nearby wall. The video was developed as a part of the Universal Instructional Design in Higher Education grant awarded by the U.S. Department of Education to the University of Minnesota and is available on the Allies for Inclusion, the Ability Exhibit Google site. The Disability Movement Station. Banners and posters depict the disability movement through timetables and photographs. The posters include the following captions: I can't even get to the back of the bus. Access is a civil right. Climbing to the Capitol. We demand freedom. The road to freedom. And the Disability Movement Station ends with the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act by President George H.W. Bush on July 20th, 1990. The Americans with Disabilities Act station includes a disability law slideshow and the 20th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act video. The slideshow is available on your Workshop Edition flash drive, and the video is available on the Allies for Inclusion, the Ability exhibit Google site. The Facts About Learning Disabilities station indicates not all great minds think alike. This station highlights learning disabilities and how they have impacted education in the United States and college students during the 21st century. The Ability exhibit ends with the I Pledge to be an Ally for Inclusion station. An interactive activity allows visitors to indicate that they know someone with a disability, they will use person-first language, and they will tell someone what they learned at the Ability exhibit. Ally buttons and bookmarks are available for visitors and to you too. Nearby is a mirror with the attached sign reading, "This is what an ally looks like." A large poster near the end of the exhibit reads, "I pledge to be an ally for inclusion." That poster is available to you too in the Workshop Edition packet. Please sign the pledge by writing your name on the poster.
I thought this exhibit was terrific. I liked the interactive aspects of it, so it wasn't just walking into a room and looking at pictures or reading posters. It was actually doing things in the exhibit, and I thought it was really interesting.
I realized that it was done by our students with Dr. Myers, and I couldn't believe that they were able to present something as detailed, inclusive, and helpful as they have. So I think they've done a wonderful job.
The main takeaway, I think, for our exhibit is definitely just to get the awareness out there of disability, the correct language to use, the person-first language, impactness of the fact that everyone probably does know someone with a disability, and if they could just learn one thing here and take it away and pass that on.
We hope you enjoy the interactive activities and continue to be an ally for inclusion at home, at work, and in your community. This concludes the Workshop Edition video. Thank you for participating in Allies for Inclusion, the Ability exhibit.